Hi everyone, and welcome to this training video on creating a mail merge in Microsoft Word using data from Excel. I'm going to try and go through it step by step. A couple of things to start though. I have an Excel document already saved on my desktop, so where you're taking the information from in Excel, you must have already saved it first rather than just having it open. This is my Excel sheet that's on that desktop that I just showed you then. It's got a couple of columns in there, simple, name and mark. So obviously yours might be a lot more detailed, but this is just to start us off with. The two columns do have the headings though, so it's important to have headings in your Excel spreadsheet. It just makes it a lot easier to import that data into Word when we start our mail merge. You can see I've got a couple of different examples here, and now we're going to open our Word document. This one's completely blank, doesn't have anything in there. You might have one already that you want to bring data into. Doesn't really matter, but we're just going to start with a completely empty one to begin with. When you're in here, I'm going to create just a couple of little headings here, name and mark from assessment. So I haven't got any information in there. This is where our mail merge will come in and allow us to create a number of documents based on how much data we have with these details in there for everyone. So up the top on the ribbon, I'm going to click on mailings. You might have seen the start mail merge here before, which has a few different options in there. But what we're actually going to do is we're going to select recipients and then use an existing list. The reason we're using an existing list is because we already have an Excel document with the data we want inside this Word document. So I'm going to click on that. I'm going to locate my Excel spreadsheet that I've saved, and I've saved it on my desktop in this instance. I'm going to double click that. I'm going to open it up, and it's going to say what table from the Excel spreadsheet do I want to use. I've only got one in there. You might have multiples. You might have, if I show you just down here, the different tables in here, you could have sheet 2, sheet 3, they could be named different things. This is a really simple one. It's just got one sheet, sheet 1, and I'm going to import that. Just down the bottom here, first row of data contains column headers. That's correct. That's where I mentioned that you should have headers in there to make it a lot easier to bring your data in there. So I'm going to leave that ticked because I do have those headers. And if I press OK, it doesn't look like it's done anything. But if you have a look up here, it's actually changed a few of these options, and I now have the option to insert a merge field. That merge field is saying what column I want to import data from in my Excel spreadsheet, and it'll match that row up. So I'd have the two different headings here. I want to insert a merge field, and it shows me what columns I have available in my Excel spreadsheet. First one being name, and then down here when I go to mark, I want to insert a merge field and I want to say mark. It adds these two little arrows on either side. That implies that it is a merge field and it's getting that data from somewhere else. So it's not actually just going to be called name and mark. It's saying I'm gathering this information from somewhere else. Now I've done that, but I want to see what it looks like before I actually finish everything. So up here there is preview results, and I recommend you do this anytime you're creating a mail merge. It will show you what the final document will look like without you having to print it or export it or anything like that. Now that just shows me the first row there, which was Andrew, and of course I got 100. But if I click up here where it's got recipients, mentions find recipients, and it says I'm on number 1, that means record number 1 or row number 1. If I click that arrow next to it, it takes me to row 2 or record 2, which was Bob, and he got 50. And if I look at my Excel spreadsheet again, I can see Bob was in the next row and he got 50. If I go back to the Word document, Sam was the third record and he got 75. If I click this arrow right to the right side, it gives me the last record, which was Norman, who got 23. And if I use this arrow here, it takes me back to the first record. So you can always check the start and the end to make sure it's included all of your rows into that data. So I've checked all that data. I'm happy with what it's bringing across. Now I want to do something with it. So your options are you might want to print it, or what I highly recommend is saving it to a PDF first. So you can just see what the final document looks like in its entirety. That gives you a copy you can work from later on. If you just need to reprint certain pages, you don't need to go through everything in the mail merge again. So if I click up here in Finish and Merge, I can edit individual documents. If there's a mistake in just one page, I can fix that. But most of the time, you're just going to say print documents. It's going to say how many do you want to send to either the printer or Acrobat to make a PDF. In this case, I'm going to send all because I'm going to a PDF, and later on I can choose what I need to print from there. My printer selected is Adobe PDF, which is our PDF writer. It'll turn this into a PDF file. Everything in the defaults should be pretty fine, so I'm just going to press OK. And it's going to pop up with a little box just down here and say, where do I want to save it and what do I want to call it? So I'm just going to put this on the desktop as well. I'm going to call it My Mail Merge. It's going to export those 5 pages into a PDF document and then open it for me. And I can now see in Acrobat I have 5 pages, 1 to 5, and all my exported data is in here. Now if I wanted to print this out to a hard copy, I could send it from here. I can pick which pages I want to print then. But if I ever need to go back to it, this file is saved on my desktop in this case, and I can pick any record I need from there. So if one goes missing, page 3, I can just open this up and say print me page 3 only, and it'll send that back out. Of course, you can use this to do a lot more than just one name and one mark, and you can have a complete template set up ready and just insert those merge fields wherever you want that data to come across. And of course, you can change all of your text options and things like that to say, you know, different font sizes and things like that, and that will carry across for that mail merge field as well, and they'll all come out in that font, color, size, whatever you need to change. Thank you very much for your time.